West Louisville is getting a brand new JCPS middle school, and the announcement is coming tomorrow. It is our top story here on the WHAS 11 team. Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt. It's going to be built right at 18th and Broadway. WHAS 11 team's Taylor Woods talked to the JCPS Superintendent Marty Polio and Russell neighborhood leader Jackie Floyd tonight. And Taylor, you also have more on what this school will replace.
Absolutely. And Doug, for years there has been several talks about the property that sits at 18th and Broadway. And Russell leader Jackie Floyd tells me she's excited to hear about Molina Healthcare and JCPS coming together, hoping it will have a huge impact in the community.
Now what I'm hearing again, it makes me excited.
The future is bright for this property at 18th and Broadway, now owned by Molina Healthcare. These steel beams have sat untouched for years after a plan for a passport headquarters fell apart.
You know, it was going to be Walmart, and then it's going to be a healthcare facility, but this time it's an educational campus.
JCPS Superintendent Dr. Marty Polio says the site will now be the new home of a middle school.
Tomorrow, when we have the opportunity to really select the ground for the next Hudson Middle School in West Louisville, it's just exciting, and it is a part of our infrastructure plan to completely change this district.
Nearly 2 years ago, Dr. Polio shared the district was talking with Molina Healthcare about a new middle school in West Louisville.
For this project right here, it's about 25 acres of land.
Floyd is enthused about the investment.
A new school means new technology, the latest gadgets. And our kids deserve that. The families of the West End, they deserve that.
She says the site at 18th and Broadway is perfect since it's near recreational activities to keep students busy at all times.
And then after school, they can go to the Y, or they can walk down here to the Western Branch Library.
Floyd hopeful this new development will bring new opportunities for generations to come.
JCPS in Molina will give more details tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. about the future of the property at 18th and Broadway. In studio, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 team on your side.
All right, it's going to be an exciting morning there. Thank you, Taylor. Right now, all new on the WHAS 11 team, bridging the 9th Street divide in our city. Tonight, community members got a chance to weigh in on plans for the reimagined 9th Street project. For years, the wide corridor has acted as a barrier between downtown and West Louisville. This new project aims to change that by narrowing the roadway, adding in landscaping, and possibly using public art. The city also wants to make the area safer, especially when it comes to speeding.
People don't feel like it's a safe place for them to be as people, so we want to make this street feel more like a corridor that belongs in an urban neighborhood rather than an extension of an off-ramp for the interstate.
Now, the project is still in the design phase. To provide your feedback, you can fill out an online survey about it. And we've got a link for you right at WHAS11.com. An update on the night team. A large fire in southern Indiana destroyed an auto body shop this afternoon. Clarksville Fire Chief says Brandon Skaggs, the chief says crews responded to the shop on Appleleaf Lane just before 3 this afternoon. It took about 45 minutes for 30 firefighters from 2 different departments in southern Indiana to get the fire out. Burned vehicles and pieces of the metal building were all that were left behind. Skaggs says there were people inside the business when the fire started, but everyone made it out okay. They are still investigating to find out what caused the fire there in Clarksville. As we get into the full swing of summertime, the city is helping fund events in 10 different neighborhoods aimed at reducing violence. It's all part of the Office for Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods Safe Summer Kickoff. It comes after a violent start to our summer. In the past 28 days, 18 people were killed in our city, and at least 5 teenagers were shot outside a party in PRP. Now, the city hopes events like these can help bring a sense of community, in turn reducing the violence. This Saturday, organizations are hosting events at 10 different parks and community centers, featuring live music and games, but also health screenings and trauma counseling.
Engaging people at recreation programs at the community centers or swim programs or anywhere else that they might be able to open up and allow us to really reach and talk to them about, how they feel.
In addition to Saturday's event, 4 organizations are helping manage the city's summer youth programs to keep kids busy and engaged. For details, we've got more on our website, and you can click right on this story. New Chapel EMS today is responding to an open letter from the Clark County Health Officer regarding ambulance services across Clark County. In his letter, Dr. Eric Yazel said the health department has taken steps to mitigate the strain on the system from New Chapel's current workforce shortage. That's the agency founded by the former Clark County, Indiana Sheriff Jamie Knoll, who is sitting in jail. In a statement, the agency said, quote, "It has been well documented that there is a nationwide EMS staffing shortage. This problem is not exclusive to our community or to New Chapel as a company," end quote. They go on to say they're working to recruit and retain staff members. Now, in his letter, Dr. Yazel said since June 1st, one prolonged response time of 20 minutes had been reported. He says that they'll continue to monitor those response times. For the second straight year, Kentucky has seen a decrease in overdose deaths across our state. According to the 2023 Kentucky Drug Overdose Fatality Report, almost 2,000 Kentuckians died from a drug overdose last year. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says that's down almost 10% from 2022. He said today the progress is a group effort.
What a long way we have come together over this last decade. As we know this, But as we know, this work is never ending, and there are still more holes that we have to fill. And so we look for the next challenge and the way we do our current work better.
As always, a reminder, if you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, there are resources available to you. You can call the number on your screen. It's 1-800-662-4357. All new right now on the WHAS 11 night team, the Fairness Campaign is celebrating Pride Month by commemorating Louisville's LGBTQ history. Tonight, they unveiled the first LGBTQ Kentucky Historical Highway marker right in the city at St. James Court and Belgravia in Old Louisville. WHAS 11 night team photojournalist Aspen Hester shares the celebration and the significance of that spot.
When Tracy Knight and Margie Jones applied for a marriage license right here in Louisville on July 6th of 1970, they knew very well they were challenging the closet and the brutal harassment and condemnation that kept so many queer people in the closet. When 13 lesbians and 2 gay men gathered right over there at 420 Belgravia to establish the Louisville Gay Liberation Front, they too acted with great courage in the face of what they knew would be hostility and retribution.
To plunk this piece of metal down to mark Louisville's first LGBTQ historic site.
We have about 2,500 markers that dot the landscape here around the Commonwealth. I think we all know that history surrounds us, but it's often not seen, not visible.
For so many marginalized communities, our history has been intentionally erased or intentionally never recorded to begin with. And so anything we can do to preserve is of the utmost importance.
Let's let this marker be a source of inspiration to all of us to keep going and keep emphasizing that what happens to one of us happens to all of us. We have to get there together.
You can applaud for that.
When I was 17 years old, I found out about a meeting of the formation of the Louisville Gay Liberation Front. We did a lot of social and political networking. It did lay a foundation for a lot of the LGBTQ plus movement.
We want future generations to be able to look to sites within the city of Louisville and the Commonwealth of Kentucky to find their history and to be able to move forward.
Well, the Fairness Campaign and author Dr. Kate Fossil worked for nearly a decade to make that historic marker a reality. Also new here tonight on the night team, the Academies of Louisville is celebrating another successful year, helping 19,000 students get prepared for their future careers. The program held a ceremony tonight at the Olmsted with its local business partners. Through the Academies, a business partner with JCPS to train students for jobs in industries like healthcare, finance, auto repair, even aviation. They offer mentoring, co-ops, and even job opportunities.
In the old days, it was kind of go to work or go to school, but those twains didn't meet. Today, a lot of these companies offer you a chance to go to work right away, but also to get training, skills, certification, education over time.
In 2018, the Academies of Louisville had 11 business partners. There are now more than 200 with plans to expand next year.